Hey, what's up, you beautiful souls? It's Case with Everyday Masters. I hope you're having an amazing day. I am finally coming to terms that I've fallen out of favoritism with the YouTube algorithm. I keep getting these comments like, hey man, I'm not getting any notifications from you. They're hiding you. I don't think they're hiding me. I think that I just don't make enough videos. And the only way to fall back in favoritism of the algorithm is to make more videos. So I just don't think I'm supposed to keep what I see and what I witness and what I experience to myself. So I promise I'm going to start making more videos. I have hundreds and hundreds of sessions taped. And in each one of those, there is something profound, something powerful, some information that helps people own who they are and what's going on. I think what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start, instead of leaving little text comments about my thoughts while I'm editing them, I think I'm just going to shoot little inserts of me commenting on what I probably should have said or expanding further on what I meant when I say something in the video. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name's Case, and as much as I don't like this term, I'm a healer. And I mean, that's what I do. I do a very profound type of, actually, I would say it's a sacred type of healing work. Now, I know this is going to sound egotistical, but I'm really an absolute master at what I do. I know I don't look like a master. I don't speak like a master. I say dude every fifth sentence, which in most spiritual gurus, you don't hear that from them, but that's just the way I speak. The work I do, I've described it in probably 100 videos. I've went down the rabbit holes of the deep esoteric things and what I think is happening during these sessions. I've dumbed it down. I've made it more accessible to people, what I'm doing. I really want everybody that I work with to become their higher self, to become a sovereign being. Now, I know it doesn't happen as instantaneously with everyone that it did with me, but I know for a fact that something magical is happening during these sessions. The path that you are on, say this is the path you're on, and this is your optimal path. I believe these sessions move us to our optimal path. Now, sometimes those paths, they just run horizontal for a while before they start to veer off. So sometimes, it takes some time for people to start understanding the profound shifts that they are experiencing, this expanded consciousness where life is easier and everything feels more in the flow, and you're not swimming upstream. You're just really allowing yourself to become the person that you were meant to be. That's my goal with every session that I have. Before I get to the session with Lakanya, I did want to do a quick update on a book I wrote. I started a Kickstarter campaign. I think it was in November. I wrote a children's book. I know you think it's some deep spiritual book. I actually wrote a children's book called What's Up? And I am so proud of this book. This is an actual copy. I know people that consider themselves spiritual, consider themselves in this awakening path. They're really going to resonate with the message. What I didn't know was, how are people that are completely invested in the 3D world, how are they going to respond to this book? And out of the few samples that I actually received, I have like 3 neighbors that have kids. They're like 4 to 7 years old. And I'm pretty sure that they heavily invested in the 3D world. And I was really happy to hear that they not only enjoyed the book, but they're like, dude, this is as good as any book on the market. So I'm really, really excited. A quick update. The Kickstarter was in November. I placed the order a week after the Kickstarter was finished. I got my first proofs for the book like a week before Christmas, but my book designer was on a 2 week holiday, so she didn't actually get the proofs. When she got back, we went over them, and there was like 4 spreads where the colors just weren't working for me. I am kind of a perfectionist. I am a Virgo. I think that's a trait of being a Virgo. But so we fixed that. I got the new proofs in. Everything looked great. They sent me a few samples. But when I approved the samples, now they're on Chinese New Year holiday. I mean, they shut the country down for 2 weeks. So as soon as the Chinese New Year holiday is over, they're going to wrap up production, put them on a boat, and it's going to take 6 weeks. I had no idea it was going to take that long to get them to my friend's warehouse. So I'm probably looking around the end of March, the first week of April. I know that's like 2, 3 months later than I was anticipating, but I had to get it fixed. I had to get those spreads perfect. Okay, man, let's get to Lacanya. There are some moments when she becomes extremely emotional, and she didn't want me to show her just sobbing, but I felt like what she was saying was so relevant for what a lot of us are experiencing. So there's going to be times when the screen's just black and it's just our audio. But yeah, I really hope you enjoy this video.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm so happy to meet you.
Oh, it's nice to meet you too. It's funny your email about being nervous. There's
Oh my gosh.
nothing to be nervous
I
about.
am. I
Don't be-
am. I have watched your videos and oh my gosh, I found you on Rich's website, your link,
Uh-huh.
and I had a reading with him and I was just like really in awe and I saw his reconnect video. And he had a link for it, and I thought, "What is this? What is
Yeah,
going
pretty
on?
crazy looking,
What
yeah.
is what is this all about?" And I got
Doing?
so
Yeah.
curious,
Good.
and I started
Good.
looking at your page and your videos, and I thought, "This is this is amazing. This
It's
is really okay." And
yeah,
I've been
it's
on a personal journey that's been like, I've just been things have been really challenging for me,
yeah, well, this is
really challenging.
crazy times, man. This is real. Like
It is.
yeah.
It's past real. It's
It's
otherworldly, let me tell you.
it is
I have
otherworldly.
I've been in a state of, I don't know, wow.
Mm.
Wow. Just a little insight about me. Um, that last eclipse kinda really took me for a spun me for a loop, you know? Just energetically, I was really exhausted. I was tired. I was just like, wow, what is going on? It just made me feel really weirded out. Um, I've been kind of venturing a little bit into astrology and whatnot. I'm going through a separation from my spouse, which is one of the reasons I got a reading from from Rich. I This has been going on most of the year since the end of April. And it's been super, super challenging for me because it came from out of nowhere and he just left. And the emotions of it
Oh, yeah.
have been it has affected my life for months.
Yep,
Months.
yep,
And it's exhausting. And the emotional state of it, it's not my self-confidence. It's caused me to question everything or even question the entire relationship or if I even knew this person. And it's caused me to question a lot of things about myself.
yep. Well,
So
that's
I
a good
took
thing.
Now, I know that Lakanya is going through a very challenging time in her life. And I am absolutely not trying to be flippant when I say, but it's a good thing. But this is the kind of thing that I know to be true. I cannot pop out of this objective view that I know everything that's happening in her life right now is happening for a reason.
You know, it doesn't feel like that in the moment.
Of
It
course,
really doesn't,
absolutely.
Case. It's very, very, it's very painful.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, with this lunar eclipse coming up, I'm a Taurus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm a Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. I think this is just, I don't know. I feel like I just, I don't know how I managed to just run across your page when I did. And I feel like it's just like kismet. Like I was supposed to have this happen when I scheduled it for me
Yep.
to maybe have some kind of I feel stuck. I've been feeling so stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't let go. I can't move forward. I can't make a good decision. It's been distracting me, holding me back. I've been like really just in this hibernation phase where I don't really have much of a social life. I
Mm-hmm.
don't get out much. It's caused me to be really withdrawn within myself. I've done several things for myself. I've lost 35 pounds.
Nice.
I've changed my diet, my health habits, a lot of different things, trying to work on myself and find my drive, my motivation, my self-love, maybe some self-forgiveness.
In this time that we're going through, in the energy on the planet, it is so crucial to love yourself, to forgive yourself, to respect yourself. Now, I realize that, we're all just playing out these programs, and we were programmed to not love ourselves. And just as easy as we accepted that programming when we were a child, we can reprogram our minds. If you look at yourself every day in the mirror, do it twice, do it 3 times. I mean, how serious are you about doing this, about healing? If you look in the mirror and you go, I love you. Now, when you say that, it's probably going to feel hollow. There will be no connection in your heart with what you're saying. But if you do it every day for 21 days, I guarantee you will start to see reasons everywhere to love yourself. You will start to feel like you love yourself. And if you keep doing it, that feeling will grow and expand. And the next thing you know, you are going to heal yourself. And when you heal yourself, you will start to see the changes in the external world. It's consistency. We are consistently thinking the same bullshit thoughts. So you have to consistently think the opposite thoughts, and then it will get traction. I guarantee it.
Because there's a lot of blame, um, I'm just everything's been a challenge. It's been really hard, and I'm trying to get past it. And I'm hoping that maybe this will be something that can help me.
Well, this will absolutely help you. In what way we will have to see. But there's a reason that you stumbled across this, this
Yeah,
craziness. And
yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
that's
Sorry, I didn't plan on crying.
it's
I thought I
okay.
was past on my crying moments.
It's okay. It's
I
okay.
did that for months and I haven't cried in a while, so sorry.
No, that's okay. It's good. I think it's healthy to cry. It's what's not healthy is to bottle all that up and to, I mean, obviously it's not done. So, you need to let that out.
I'm
You guys,
wondering when it's going to be done. I need it to be done.
when, so you guys were together for a while?
11, well, we were together 12 years, married for 11, and he did this 3 days before our 11-year anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't, I just, there was no closure.
Yeah. Did you feel like you had a healthy relationship or?
You know, there were challenges, but I'm just one of those very grounded people. I'm just, you know, I'm just, I'm in it through thick and thin. I'm just a very loyal person. So I don't feel that any challenges that we had were nothing that couldn't be addressed or worked
Yeah.
on. I think it just came down to communication issue.
Yeah.
I really, really think that it came down to a communication issue, a maturity issue. willingness to set aside self and just really want to commit to some work. And I think he didn't want to do the work.
Yeah, well, relationships are work, man. Not all the
Yeah,
time. It,
yeah, people
you
forget that. People forget that. And I think that after you've been together for a while, people do grow and people do evolve and change in their own ways. But you also have to, even though you're in a relationship, you still have to allow the other person to also have their space and be who they are, and allow them to also grow within themselves. I think I gave too much and it wasn't reciprocated, and I didn't acknowledge that or stop to address it. And I think that um, I forgot about myself somewhere, and I was more invested, and I was more in it for the long haul.
We can never underestimate the power of our programming. And we've all been programmed. By the time you're 7 years old, the foundation for who you're going to be as an adult has already been laid. It's not like written in stone because, there's obviously you're not going to be exactly like your parents. I mean, my parents got divorced when I was 5, and I've been in a relationship for 27 years. So it's not written in stone, but it is the foundation of who you are. And so before we go any further, I think let's get into Lakanya's programming.
Let me guess, your parents were married for a really long time.
My parents have known each other since high school. They've been together all their lives.
Yeah, I could tell.
I'm from Louisiana. I mean, you grow up together, you die together, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
You know, grandparents the same way. I mean, people just my whole family is like that. People just stay together and they go through it and they tough it out and they raise families and those families raise families and it's just generations and um they go through thick and thin, but they manage to stay together and they work through things. And my parents have been through their challenges and I grew up seeing that. But those two are together and they're content.
Yeah.
I think all along my instincts were telling me, and I just refused to listen because I just didn't want to believe it or I didn't want to accept it or hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at one point my intuition in my life was very strong and I could sense things and I knew things. I knew Case.
Yeah, I know.
Um I could feel things. And after I had my children and I started going through some bad times with my first husband, it's almost like either it left or I shut it down. It just like stopped working and I never recaptured it. And I would really like to be able to access that part of myself again. There are parts of me that are just blocked and I know it, I can feel it. Like I've built up some really high walls
Mm-hmm.
from past hurt,
Yeah.
past experiences, past just freaking trauma, just
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. How's everything else in your life? Like, are you happy with,
Well,
what type of work do you do?
I'm driven. I'm I'm a three-timer for military, so this last round I was a combat vet. I got away from that and then finally came back to California from Alaska, settled down here where I met this husband and um I went into right now I'm a federal employee.
Yeah.
So I'm HR I'm an HR specialist and I went back to school. I worked for social services. I worked in the welfare department for a while. I enjoyed that,
Mm-hmm.
helping people. Um, I felt I was really good at it. I really feel like I connect with people. I communicate with people well. Um, I easily established rapport with people. So I was good at my job, but then I relocated to purchase a home and the commute was really far. So I decided to go back to school. I became a career changer and I went into HR. and I established myself there, and I'm on my second promotion. And right now, I just became a new supervisor, which I start that position on the 6th of November will be my first day. I've already met some of my new team,
Oh,
so I'll have my own team. I've gotten these two new promotions since the separation, amazingly. And
ironically.
I've pretty much elevated out of everybody in my region, which encompasses the entire state of California. I am actually a fast burner. I've actually promoted annually every year since I've been in that role. So yeah, I'm pretty ambitious when it comes to that. And I'm still aiming to go higher, and I can have no complaints there.
Yeah,
Things are going well
awesome.
in that department. I'm looking forward to that new position. I think I'm going to really like it.
I think you're going to, and you're going to crush it just like you crush everything else, it sounds like. That's awesome. Well,
Yeah, just the
yeah,
career, just the personal, relationship thing. It sucks right now. It really does, Case. But yeah, outside of that, career's fine. My relationships with my children are fine. Me and my father, we just had a recent rift.
hmm
But my parents, my sisters, my relationships across the board are pretty solid. I don't have a big circle. I keep my circle tight. I have a couple of close friends, and
That's all
for
you
the
need.
most part, I'm pretty self-kept.
Yeah. Yeah, you're in a good spot, man, besides this relationship fiasco, which I mean, were you it sounded like you were continually growing and he wasn't. Could be wrong.
He had some challenges. I'll just say he's a cancer, and he's just very petty at times and extremely emotional. And I just didn't operate from that same spectrum with my day-to-day decisions. Um I'm about it. I'm about my business. I like to take care of things, make sure things are handled and addressed, and I'm very organized. And um we were not the same on that level. I was very self-assured, very practical, very grounded, and very independent when I met him. And I don't know. I felt like the more we were together, the less that became for me.
Okay. Well, I will let you know when I'm finished.
Okay, got it.
I hope you have a great session.
Oh, thank you. So do I. I'm gonna relax. I promise you. I'm just.
Yeah, just chill, just relax. You're all good. You're in good hands.
Wow.
I thought you stopped breathing there for a second.
Did I look like I stopped breathing?
Yeah, I was like, I could see you breathing in the beginning, and then all of a sudden, like 20 minutes in, I'm like, dude, she's not breathing anymore.
No, that was me trying to relax like you told me to. A shallow breather. What can I say?
Did you have any sensations or
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you, like towards the end, those sensations very tingly, but really, really cold.
hmm.
And at one point, you got by my left foot, and it felt like the bottom of my foot got real hot, like really warm, really warm, right on that. And it was like the left side. When you got started, the left side was really going on.
hmm
It was my left. It wasn't the right. It was like more whatever was going on was on my left side. And I was thinking, okay, one side. Okay, just go with it. But yeah, it was really, I mean, that was like, wow. And at one point, it just got really, I don't know how long we had been into in the middle, but man, I had the neatest sensation over my chest.
hmm hmm
This was like, that was like the best feeling right in here. And it was almost like I felt like I was laying there with my mouth wide open. I don't know if anybody's ever told you that.
No, they haven't. No.
Yeah, I felt like my mouth was open. I kept feeling like I should close my mouth. I consciously was like, no, my mouth is closed. My chest area was like really like, wow. And at one point, I felt like just really like, I can't describe the sensation. It was almost like, um, I don't know. It just felt like happy, like it made me want to smile, like just peaceful. Like I wanted to smile. It was like almost like, okay, yeah, whatever that is, keep doing that.
Just
I really like that
keep
part right
doing
there.
that.
Like, don't stop that. Yeah, like, okay, that's the good part. My heart right there. Just stay over my heart right there. Yeah. Yeah. That was like feeling like, I mean, did you pick up anything in particular when you were doing it? Well, maybe it's good you don't get any feedback. Maybe you just do your thing, yeah. Maybe you don't want to know what's going on with us on this end, you know what I mean? But that was very um wow, I don't even know what I was nervous about now.
So you felt tingling on throughout your
Oh
body?
my gosh, the sensation was like tingly, but almost like it got to a point where it was like tingly, like, oh my gosh, this is like cold. Like, I need a blanket. Like, ooh, I underdressed. I should have wore like a sweatshirt or had a blanket on cold. That was like cold, like did somebody just turn the air and blast it on me? Like it was really like almost an Arctic cold, but it was like not a bad, it was a good cold, but I could feel it all through my body. And for a long time, the sensation stayed right in my leg area.
Mhm,
For a long time, it was in my leg area. And when it got up to my chest, at one point, I felt it almost in my throat.
mhm, mhm.
My throat. When you first got started, it was almost like I felt something like tapping on this side of my face. I was like, "Huh."
What's he doing?
Yeah,
That's
seriously,
funny.
it felt like you were tapping the side of my face. Like, I'm like, okay.
That's funny. I gotta take
Because
my
I'm still
advice.
tingly. I just want you to know I'm still tingly. Is that going to be like all night
It
case?
it better be. Yeah. Uh, hopefully it's for the rest of your life. So here's what I want you to do.
Okay.
I want you to take your hands, I want you to put your hands up, and I want you to spread your fingers.
Okay. Let me put this up here.
Okay.
Now, if you've never felt these frequencies before, I want you to try this with Lacania. There is a frequency that includes energy, light, and information that's coursing through every single person on the planet. You can think of it like a radio station. Now, if you've never tuned into this frequency, then you are not taking advantage of this gift that we are being given at this time to speed up our awakening. Now, it's really easy to do. Once you feel this frequency, you should be able to access it anytime you want. The only reason you can't access it, you can't feel it, is because you're getting in your way. It's because of your programming.
I want you to go palms facing palms about this far apart.
Okay.
Palms facing palms.
Okay. Got it.
Now I want you to imagine that, and then you just imagine this, just to place just to get your intent, your awareness on your palms. Imagine if you had
Okay.
like a little hook right here and right here. And I want you to imagine
Okay.
those hooks are attached by like a cobweb thin filament of energy. I want you to slowly move one hand and see if you can feel the connection between your hands. So slowly move one hand just in like little tiny circles. And I want you to see if you can feel, spread your fingers. Yeah, it makes it easier to feel. And I just want you to see if you can feel that whatever you do in one hand,
Yeah.
you can
If I
feel
move
in
my
the other.
left hand, I feel a tug on my right hand.
I knew you would be able to. This sensation that you're feeling this sensation is 100 times more important than meditating. Because when you place your awareness on this sensation and you just play with it, you're like, oh, what if I did this? Does that change? What if I pull them apart? What if I made little swirlies with it? Like the sensation will change. And I promise you that right now, your brain is going into the hyper gamma state. Now, when you meditate,
Ooh, that feels weird.
right?
You feel different pressures in my palm.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, that's weird.
So
Oh, that's weird. Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, if you were to do that every day
Uh-huh,
for like 60
uh-huh,
seconds,
uh-huh.
would be better for you than meditating. Because
Really?
when you meditate, okay, the goal is to stop this thing from working. Okay. The brain waves in a meditator, in a professional meditator, goes to the gamma state. Okay. That's that
Right.
feeling of peacefulness, of oneness, of feeling
Mm-hmm,
connected.
mm-hmm.
If they hooked you up to an EEG machine and you started doing that, your brain waves go into a hyper gamma state, which is above the meditators. It will change your life.
Oh,
So you can feel it, right?
yeah. Please tell me it won't go away. It'll always be there.
It should always be there. How are you?
Good, good,
Good.
good. I am really good, actually.
Awesome. Awesome.
Busy day. I apologize. I guess we were both kind of delayed and running a little late
Oh,
today.
that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, but today was good. And I
Good.
slept great, man. I slept
Nice.
great.
Nice.
I slept good.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying
Yeah.
you don't sleep too well lately, and
No, I slept good last night. I slept
good.
good. I slept good. I was rested, you know. I was, played around with my hands a couple minutes before I went to
Oh,
bed.
nice.
And I
Nice.
was like, this is pretty cool. So yeah, I liked it. I liked it. So I yesterday was kind of like I had my buzz going on, that tingly feeling going on the rest of the day.
Uh-huh.
And I was thinking to myself, whoa, and I'm thinking, okay, I really want to tell somebody about this. And I was thinking, okay, I'll wait until after tomorrow. I'll wait until after tomorrow, So yeah, it was almost like that little buzz of excitement. And then I'm thinking, oh, I'll just wait and hold off until tomorrow. I'll wait till I finish my
Awesome.
process. And then, I
Yeah.
wouldn't even know where to begin or what to tell them. I'll probably just look at them and smile and just say, I had an epiphany.
Nice, nice.
You mentioned something to me yesterday,
Hmm.
and I haven't forgotten about it
Hmm.
because it kind of stuck with me. I was telling you about being really cold and stuff, and you said there was other people around. I wasn't the only one in the room. There was other folks around. You really didn't explain to me who else was here.
Well, I don't know.
I do want to say that I am not a medium. I don't get names of people or guides or guardian angels letting me know who's with you. But I am a bridge to multidimensional beings that are family. When I say multidimensional, I know some people are like, what are you talking about? Dude, we are multidimensional beings. Right now, when we're incarnated in this plane, we only see a tiny sliver of what's really going on. There are beings always in our space that we can't see. I know a lot of people go into fear and like, oh my God, multidimensional beings. And they're like, well, what if like a dark energy like piggybacks on this bridge that you're creating? Dude, that's impossible. That's absolutely impossible. In the 12 years that I've been doing this work, no one has ever said, I feel like this dark energy was coming through. Every single one feels this love. This is all love. Dark energy cannot piggyback on this higher frequency. It's impossible. It can't happen. Now, one more quick statement. You have existed way, way, way before you come to Earth. All souls existed before they came to Earth. We are multi-dimensional, and we have family. We have souls. We have groups. We have families of souls that we have traveled the galaxy with. And when you made the choice to come to Earth, you're like, I'm volunteering, I'm going. I guarantee you they were probably like, dude, are you serious? Really? Like, we're worried about you because this is a very risky mission. Those souls, those multidimensional beings, are your family. And somehow, when these frequencies, somehow during these sessions, these multidimensional beings are here to help you, to heal you. This is your true family. Now, I know that's a lot to take in, but that's what's going on. So don't be afraid. This is all love. That's
Would it have been my ancestors maybe or
it would
something
be,
like that?
yes, it would be something like that. Okay, I'll let you know when I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Mm. Case, I just weirdest thing happened.
What happened?
I had the weirdest shit happen. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. I gotta process this for a minute.
Okay, take your time.
I had my eyes closed and I know I don't know what part of this we were into, Case, but my eyes were closed. There were two look like little eyes, almost like little dots, and they were on this side of my face. I know my eyes were closed the whole time. I know they were.
Yeah.
They kept flashing at me. They flashed 5 times. It was almost like there was like this miniature head or face or something. The weirdest thing. And it was like a purple background.
Yeah, I knew you were going to see purple today.
What the hell? Okay, you're gonna have to explain that one to me, Case. You're gonna have to explain that to me. Is purple significant?
To me, purple represents the Christ consciousness. It represents the crown chakra. And so sometimes I don't know if it's true, but I feel like when the colors that people see are the chakras that are opening up for them. And yesterday yours were like in the lower region. It was like red and yellow and orange. And I knew that you would see purple today because
Wow,
I knew you would see purple today.
that was crazy. And I think that's kind of like the only color that stuck around.
Yeah.
Just purple.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was no other, but this was very and it almost had a shape. And I'm almost embarrassed to say this out loud. It was just weird. Okay, what I was saying was like that was weird, but how can I put this? Somebody's gonna see this video and think I'm freaking nuts. Okay,
Anybody that was watching my video is already nuts. So
okay. Let me see. How can I describe it? It was in my left peripheral, and it was like almost my left side, and I promise you, it just looked like otherworldly. It was shaped weirdly. First, I thought, what was that flash?
yeah.
And I'm thinking, and I think felt myself move my head. Like,
You
what was
did.
that?
I don't look at the person. I just come by and look like maybe like 5 times for like 15 seconds I just look. And when I came over one time, you totally went to the left and you looked at something.
Because I was trying to see what that was. I don't know if you were working on that side or
That
if you were even over there. And I thought, in my mind, I thought, what is Case doing? I was like, he must be over there. That's all I thought was he must be over there. What is he doing? Then I focused on it and they just flashed on, dimmed out slowly, brightened really bright, and then slowly dimmed out. And I kept going, what the hell? Oh, that was crazy. Woo. Okay, okay. And then, I had a couple of sparks hit me. I was like, what is that spark? What is that spark? You hit me in my pelvic area, and it was like, zip, like a little zap. I got a couple of zings today, and I was like, what is that? Oh. I had one in my back, I had one in my shoulder, I had one my pelvic area right here, and I had one in my right knee, and I was like, I got a couple of zaps today. I was like, oh, okay. Not painful, just like, okay, I'm gonna get your attention. And I was thinking, Case must be on extras. He hit me like with some doubles and some triples today. What's he got going on?
it's
And this is water, by the way. I'm not drinking out. This is water. Water.
Did you have any tingling sensations like yesterday?
Mm-hmm. Cold again.
Cold again. Yeah.
I was cold. Yeah, you see me hugging myself. It was cold, but it wasn't as cold as yesterday. I think it was more it was more in waves. So today, and especially towards the end, it felt like a bloom. Like it started here and it just like woo, and it just went out like to everywhere all at the same time. It was like happening from the middle going out.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird. and it happened towards the end. It was kind of like zzz, like this. And it was like, that feels good. That felt kind of, I was like, wow, I was mad when it was over.
Oh, awesome.
I was mad it was over. I was really mad, Case. I was mad. I'm mad. But yeah, it was like, there was some different things going on today. Definitely some different things going on. The beginning was different today too.
How so?
Just it was different. Like I know I was relaxed. I know I was. I was ready. I was good. I don't know. The beginning felt more tense today. Like, I don't know if you were
More
deliberately
tense or
playing with
more
my head more
intense?
today. I think you were deliberately playing more with my head today or something.
I did the same thing. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Both days are the same except for the very end. Yeah.
Really? Well, I just felt more I felt more jumpy today.
You mean like twitching or like
Yeah, I just felt that today, more today than I did yesterday.
sometimes at least on personal sessions when people are here in my office,
Mm-hmm.
I can see when they have a wall up. And it's
Right.
and I understand, you're laying down on the table and you're like, what the hell is he doing? Like, I don't know what's
Mm-hmm.
going on. And then after a couple minutes, you kind of ease into it. And the more you ease into it, the more involuntary movements seem to happen. So,
Yeah. What's up? I felt that today. Like, okay. Yeah.
it's perfectly normal.
Yeah.
It is
I
normal.
felt more of that today than I did. Like yesterday, there wasn't really any involuntary movement. Everything was very internalized. Everything was like, ooh, that whole inside thing going on.
Yeah.
But today felt more twitchy than yesterday.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I hate when these things end. Boy, I tell you, I promise you I could do like this every day. I could do one every day. They feel good.
Yeah,
They feel good. Anybody watching this video after, I promise you they feel good. You want to do this. You really, 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 really want to do this. You want to experience it. It's a very full feeling. It feels good. It just really feels good. And chills, heat, whatever, come what may, it just feels good. It makes you feel full. It makes you feel of peaceful.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you go to sleep tonight, and actually I have a session. I'm doing a session in 32 minutes.
Right.
It's one of my group sessions. So at 6 o'clock your time,
Mm-hmm.
just close your eyes
Mm-hmm.
and say, Case is giving me a session. And I go for 15 minutes. And I would not be surprised if you have very similar experience. Like
Really?
very,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because see, when you lay down,
Mm-hmm.
you say, okay, Case is doing a session. I'm giving me a session. Um,
Mm-hmm.
man, the universe knows what's happening. The universe knows that I'm in my office or I'm in my living room and I'm doing my thing. And that's why it's so like the universe knows everything. It knows why it knows. You can definitely feel it, right?
Right. Right. Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, let me check. Let me check. Let me do like let me do a signal check here. Let me do a I want to see if I yeah. The hands feel
You got it,
more
dude.
pulled today. They feel my palms. My palms feel like more is going on today.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can
And
definitely
so
feel something going on with the palms.
so if you have time, I would do that. I would lay down. Why not? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and do that session. But when you
Okay.
go to sleep tonight,
Yeah.
you have to understand that you can also do this. And so tonight would be a really good time to, when you lay down,
Mm-hmm.
just open your hands up and just say, bring it on. Well, I could talk
Thank
forever,
you
but
so
I
much,
have to
Kate.
go. But
Thank you so much for the experience. Thank
you're
you so much
welcome.
for the conversation.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I will forever remember these days, these last 2 days. This will go down in history. And don't be surprised, you'll be getting an email from me, and I'll definitely keep you updated on
Awesome.
how things are going, okay?
Okay.
And if you decide to use any part of this, please let me know. I'd love to see it.
Okay. Okay. I will.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All
Peace.
right, thanks. All right, thanks. Bye.
Surfing on a wave of good feelings. Well, it's just another Friday in paradise. So bring your A game, cause you know this party won't stop. We could never run